At magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ito na naman po tayo sa ating Sports on Air Weekly. Ako po si Ernest Hernandez, ang magiging host and moderator for this day. At we have a very special guest na i-introduce po ng ating editor, sports editor ng People's Journal and People's Tonight na si Sir Ed Andaya. Sir Ed, take it away.
Thank you, Ernest. And again, good morning to all of you and welcome to this newest episode of our Sports on Air Weekly. Tama ka, Ernest, this is going to be another special Thursday morning for all of us dahil this morning makakasama natin for the first time ang ating commissioner from the Philippine Sports Commission, si Sir Edward Hayco. Marami tayong itatanong kay Commissioner, lalong-lalo na dito sa Philippine Sports Commission, very busy ngayon dahil sa nalalapit na Southeast Asian Games, no? At iba pang mga proyekto ng PSC sa grassroots, no? Before we ask our questions, siguro maybe we can request si Commissioner Hayco to say a few words. Commissioner, thank you for joining us dito sa Sports on Air.
Tokayo Ed, salamat you invited me to this program. It's a chance, it's an opportunity for me to share my thoughts, plans for the Commission and for the Philippines. Like we are 120 million population, and I hope the presence of PSC Commission and its programs will be able to reach the farthest cities and municipalities and provinces in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Very challenging po yon, and I hope yung programa natin sa yung experience natin sa Cebu, pwede natin ma-replicate all over. And Tokayo Ed, Sir Ernest, Sir Gab, nice to meet you, and hope we can be productive in this 6-year term.
Thank you, Commissioner. On a personal note, nabanggit mo na Tokayo. Alam mo, noong 1984, ang kauna-unahang byline historiko sa People's Journal, ang byline ko pa was Edward. Hindi pa Ed, no? I remember kay the late Gus Villanueva saka kay Chito Manuel, nung unang byline historiko sa People's Journal, Edward pa ang nailagay na pangalan ko. Later on lang naging Ed Andaya talaga, no? Anyway, Commissioner, dito sa Philippine Sports Commission, napag-uusapan natin na very successful yung naging stint mo, no, sa Cebu City Sports Commission, and that's why marami nga ang nag-look forward na yung mga nagawa nyo, na-achieve nyo sa Cebu, mauulit natin dito sa national level, no, sa PSC na nga. Mas malaking challenges ito, pero alam naman natin na knowing yung nagawa mo sa Cebu, malaki yung expectations natin ngayon, no. Commissioner, can you tell us dito sa mga nakalipas na proyekto mo sa Cebu Sports Commission na gusto mong dalhin ngayon dito sa Philippine Sports Commission, at ano ba yung mga advantages na inaasahan natin na makakatulong sa iyo para dito sa PSC ngayon?
Tokayo Ed, medyo I'll put a bit of history, no? I'm actually a businessman, para at alam ng yung listeners mo anong background ko. I'm a businessman and entrepreneur. An entrepreneur creates product. A businessman markets the product and make it into a magiging negosyo. So yung gift ng Panginoon sa akin is we were given a gift of talent and treasure. What we do with this talent and treasure is our gift back to God. So yun ang medyo mantra ko ngayon. At 64, medyo matanda na tayo. Ito yung our gift back to God, itong talent and treasure ko. Anong talent and treasure? As a businessman and entrepreneur, we have this gift of seeing things from a different point of view. So sports to me is like a product. Produkto ito. Anong produkto natin? Produkto natin, mga atletang mananalo, magagaling. Pero as a businessman, paano natin mag-produce ng magandang produkto? Yun ang challenge. Parang sports. How do we produce a good athlete? We don't produce a good athlete by nagpupulot ng hetsino sa forest. We farm. We have a cornfield. We don't look for a corn in a forest. We plant a farm in a corn plantation and harvest the best corn possible. That's the concept of the Grassroots Program. Ginawa ko yung Grassroots Program sa Cebu using business concepts. So, a Grassroots Program is not a tournament or a competition. It is what happens before the competition. So sa Cebu, Tokayo, yung programa natin doesn't start with events. We do have a monthly event we call Junior Olympics. But the kids that we put in the Junior Olympics starts from the entram level. Sa DepEd po, mataas yan in Cebu alone, Cebu City, 30 to 40,000 kids start from entrams. Kalahati yan pag aakyat sa division meet, maging 20,000. Pag akyat yan sa unit meet, maging 10,000. Akyat sa city meet, maging 5,000. Akyat sa Sibiraa, regional meet, maging 3,000. Aakyat, sinong mananalo sa Sibiraa papuntang palaro, maybe 1,000. So what happens to the 29,000 is the Grassroots Program po. We prepare them from the entrance level. We train the kids. So in Cebu, we have around 10,000 kids under our program. We have 60 coaches that we fund out to 20, 30 public schools. And that's a program of Cebu, which we want to be replicated as much as possible in all the LGUs of the Philippines.
Commissioner, when you were appointed by President Marcos last December as one of the commissioners, alam natin na isa sa mga na-consider niyan yung mga record na achievement mo sa Cebu, no? Kagaya ng mga yung sa dance sport, sa mga Guinness World Record events na itinaguyod mo sa Cebu, no? Ano ba yung unang marching order sa iyo ni President Marcos when he appointed you as one of the commissioners?
Well, I did not have the privilege of getting the marching orders directly, but I would assume that through his lieutenants who appointed, how do you call that, who helped me get this position, they told me why I was here, why I was appointed was basically because the selection committee saw what we've done in Cebu and they wished it to be replicated. And actually, that was the starting point. It's an effort for a provinciano like me to be coming to Manila every week. It's an effort, but especially at 64. But I was told at least naman kung ma-replicate yung sa Cebu, what happened to Cebu sa nationwide, at least that's my at my retiring age, yun na lang sana yung maibigay ko sa Pilipinas. So this was my second second time to be asked to serve the country. My first time to be asked was in 2016. Chair Boots wanted me to be a commissioner under the under his but then I was probably I felt I wasn't ready for the position. So tapos hindi pa ako semi-retired then. I was still very active in business. Yun. So ngayon medyo semi-retired na ako, yung mga anak ko medyo of age na. So pwede ko nang bitawan yung negosyo konti and go into purely public service now. Yun lang.
Commissioner, very challenging yan, yung role mo ngayon na i-replicate yung success ng Cebu Sports Commission dito sa nationwide, no, sa under the PSC. Nakausap mo na ba si Chairman Dicky at yung iba pang mga commissioners on how to do it dito sa paano mo i-tackle itong grassroots development program na not only in Cebu now but all over the country. Maraming gawain ito pero ano ba yung napag-uusapan niyo ni Chairman Dicky at ng ibang mga commissioners para ma-achieve itong goal na ito?
Sir Ed, kayo. You know, the chairman is very supportive and all the commissioners are very supportive. I brought them already to Cebu for an observation tour. There are 3 places in the Philippines that are practicing grassroots program. Meaning to say, grassroots program is, for me, from my point of view, is talagang ground level. So I believe a few LGUs like Baguio, Cebu, and Zamboanga are implementing this program in some parts of the Philippines. So knowing Cebu, well, I brought them to Cebu and Zamboanga and let them experience what a grassroots program looks like ground level. So in Cebu, we were able to produce, I'm sure you're familiar with Ando. We're proud to say Ando is a pure product of the grassroots program it's a collaboration of the NSA, the PSC, NSA, PRISA, and DepEd, no? And of course, me being the chairman of the Cebu City Sports Commission and the LGU, 5 critical partnership collaboration. So, and I brought the chairman and the commissioners to where it all started. We have what we call a pocket gym in the middle of a slum area. So isiko dapat the chair and the commissioners should see what a real grassroots program is. So dinala ko sila. Dumaan kami sa mga putik, maraming aso, maraming dumi sa daan, papuntang the pocket gym of where we strategically place the grassroots program for weightlifting, and that's in the middle of a slum area beside an abandoned cemetery. So nakita niya, there were 50 kids practicing, and that's where Ando and Aaron Bores comes from. Aaron Bores, proud to say, is a world youth gold medalist. That's what made Philippines number 2 in the world youth weightlifting championship. Aaron won 1 gold, and I think De La Santos won 1 gold. So 2 gold made the Philippines number 2 in the world. So that's where and our grassroots program is basically in public schools, all the 20-30 public schools. Because if you understand, Tokayo Ed, 80 to 90% of our athletes, national athletes, surprisingly comes from the province, and 80 to 90% comes from public schools. The other day, we had a deliberation with the softball. I asked a simple question to the Secretary General. How many percent of your athletes, national athletes, are from the public school? I was so surprised, at the same time very happy to hear 100% are from the public school. I said, that's where the grassroots program should be. And we should start from the entram level.
Commissioner, one more question, no, bago ko bigyan ng pagkakataon yung kasama ko si Ernest at si Gab na makapagtanong din sa iyo. Nabanggit mo itong public schools, and we all know na during ng state mo sa Cebu Sports Commission na talagang nakapokus ka sa mga public schools, and nababanggit mo nga madalas na yung mga underprivileged na atleta natin karamihan talaga galing sa public schools, no. So dito sa PSC na kung saan nga nandito ngayon yung challenge na ma-replicate mo yung ginawa mo sa Cebu, meron na ba kayong makikipag-usap sa mga LGUs at sa DepEd na rin para makapag-focus tayo dito sa mga public schools natin, yung mga atleta natin na ma-promote din itong mga atleta from the public schools, no? Alam natin na isa sa mandato ng PSC hindi lang yung purely sa mga elite athletes kundi pati sa mga grassroots athletes natin. So meron na po ba kayong mga sinusulong na programa with DepEd sa mga LGUs, no, at outside of Cebu para ma-promote itong grassroots program natin?
I have already talked to Ilocosur, in charge, grandson of the governor, Singson. I've already talked to him and already formulated a program with him. Once, and also Tarlac Governor Susan, and just for Luzon. Besides Mindanao, we've already talked with a few people who will also support the grassroots program. I can only move and start the grassroots program intensely and comprehensively after our strategic planning next week. So help me pray that the program that we will be presenting next week will be wholly embraced by the commissioners and the staff. Because syempre, as there will be a lot of concepts that will be put on the table, and I have to sell our grassroots concept. There will be a lot of other people who have their own concepts of what a grassroots program is all about. So please help me pray that yung i-present natin sa commission will be embraced, not just approved. Okay lang yan ma-approve. Will be totally embraced by the I want them to also believe in the program, not just approve it. Dapat they have to believe. Kasi being on the ground is iba, being up there. I was on the ground all these 25 years. It was a personal crusade, a social crusade for me, itong grassroots program. So, iba. Example, I was talking to Abby sa Philippine Sports Institute. Little things like create a school for sports program in DepEd, classroom-based, section-based. Why? Because you can only control the athletes in public school if they are all in one classroom. If the athlete is in different classroom mixed with other kids, they cannot leave the classroom by 2 o'clock to practice or 3 o'clock to practice. If they're mixed, they have to be all athletes have to be in one classroom. That was one point. If you're on the ground, you will understand that. Another one is campaign. You campaign classroom by classroom by classroom to ask the kids to join a sports program of the school. They don't just go to you and, I want to join badminton. No, they don't. You have to encourage them and make them understand. So these are things that happens on the ground level, which doesn't reach the top. So I hope the staff and the commission will embrace. That's what I meant. They may approve it, but it's different if they embrace the program.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the answers. I'm sure with your experience sa business, hindi ka mahihirapang ibenta itong mga programa natin sa sports development, lalo na sa grassroots nga, no? May mga
When I was in the dorm in Ateneo, one of my dorm mates is Fritz Gaston, Commissioner Fritz Gaston. And during that dorm experience in pasensya sa year ha, 1975 to 1979, I was already selling T-shirts, stationery, sandwiches to the dormers. Nagnegosyo na ako noon. And one of my customers was Fritz Gaston.
Commissioner, hindi ba tumatawad si Commissioner Fritz nung binebentahan mo sa dorm sa Ateneo?
Tanungin mo siya.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. May mga follow-up questions si Ernest at si Gab.
Sir Ernest, good morning, Sir Ernest.
Magandang umaga, sir, no? At I'm really fascinated now by hearing yung paano, how you are programmed to handle this position sa PSC as a yun nga, yung business aspect and everything. Ang unang tanong ko dyan, sir, syempre may mga ibang sport tayo na feeling natin na ano man yung on a entrepreneurial point of view, parang kulang pa to sa benta. Parang pwede natin to ibenta, etong sport na to. We should be marketing this more. Meron ba kayo nakikita mga sport na ganon na we should push this sport even further? And for sure, it's gonna be marketable.
Sir Ernest, thank you very much for asking that very wonderful question. Atras tayo. 10 years ago, nobody cared about archery. 10, 11 years ago, nobody cared about archery and weightlifting.
Yeah.
During that time, it was called, I called it an unpopular and dying sport. Example po, Don Sombrio then was just Don Sombrio, yung Asian medalist sa archery. He's now the Secretary General, one of the great Secretaries General of an NSA. During the time, 2011, I met him in a function, awarding night of Cebu Sports Award, Cebu Sports Award, Writers Award. No? He was seated beside me and said, "Hi, architect. What's your ano?" He said, "Oh, I'm an archer. I'm awarded because of the SEA Games medal, gold siya." And his team said, your sport is dying." He said, "Yeah. The schools are already taking out archery kasi, expensive, etc., etc." He said,
Mahal din ang gamit nun, sir. Mahal din ang gamit ng archery. Mahal din.
yes. Ganda na ng question mo. I get excited with questions like this. Sabi ko, can we meet? It was December 21 or 20. I said, can we meet about a program? And I was chairman then of Sports Commission. Can we meet? Sabi niya, oh, sige, when? Pwede tomorrow? Or the next day. So we met December 22, 23, when Christmas was like, the mood. We met in the office of sabi ko, can we do since your sports is dying, can we do a Guinness record to kickstart it back to life? Sabi niya, sige. Sabi ko, but it's so expensive, the bow. Let's plan how to create a cheap bow so we can do a grassroots program. So both of us created that PVC.
Yeah.
PVC. If you see that orange, you look at our video. So the next, sabi ko, Don, Architect Don, can we do a Guinness? Sabi niya, okay, go. So we created that PVC pipe. And 1 year after, we did the Guinness largest archery tournament. 13,000 kids.
Wow.
1 year, it took us 2 years. 2 years. Kasi first year, we were about to finish the greenies, nagka-typhoon or naka-earthquake. So
Nako.
we started again from the start. So ang hirap. So the bottom line is, before we did the Guinness, there were less than 100 archers nationwide. I was so touched today. Don told me, today there are 3,000 archers,
Wow.
not hobbyists, competing archers. And they all started with the PVC pipe that we created. So that's an example of grassroots program from the ground. So we did the same with weightlifting. 2012 or 2013, in answer to your question, we looked for unpopular sports. Unpopular, dying. Who cares about weightlifting in 2012? Nobody cares about
Yeah.
weightlifting. So from there, we were able to produce Ando. We're so proud of Ando because umabot ng Tokyo Olympics. We also have Felizardo Senisa and a few others who were gold medalists in the World Weightlifting Championship. I think we have easily 5 in the, if I'm not mistaken, we have 5 in the national teams
Yeah.
from the grassroots program. I think, yeah, I mean, we're proud to say that. So, yun, and may I emphasize this, Sir Ernest? It's such an irony. In the grassroots program, winning or medals are never our objective. That's so opposite from elite elite focus. Elite, okay lang yung elite. They have to focus on winning. But if you focus your winning on the grassroots program, you will never have a genuine grassroots program. That's my 2 cents advice. I'm sharing this because I know that many people will be watching your shows, and hopefully they will also adopt the principles of grassroots program. Winning or medals should never be your objective. They will come as a bonus. It will just come as a bonus. And you'll be surprised. The more you're obsessed with medals, the more it runs away. And the more you don't think about medals, the more it looks for you.
Ayun, very good very good quote, sir. At ang parang pwede natin gawing yan yung gawa ng graphic na ganun. Pero eto sir, meron na bang lumalapit sa inyo na sinasabi nating unpopular sport na I'm sure marami yan, the sooner na umupo kayo. And what is step 1? What is the step 1 that you're always saying to these unpopular sports? Do you emphasize grassroots lagi, or do you implement the same formula that you did to archery and weightlifting? And actually, ito nga yung dalawang sport na yon, weightlifting, it's doing really well right now. Archery, necessity yan, sir. Pag nagkaroon ng zombie apocalypse, marami tayong mga papana sa zombie, So, so,
Nice,
so
nice.
meron ba tayong mga sports na, alam mo yan, parang baka naman pwede nating yung bigyan to ng pagkakataon magkaroon ng limelight and develop world-class athletes in these types of sports.
In our experience in Cebu, we have a bottom liner, and which probably will also implement in the national scale. We have to identify the dedicated devoted coaches. They don't have to be great. They don't have to be good. They don't have to be super competent. They just need to have the basic, but the most important to succeed in a grassroots program is yung puso. Kung wala yung puso, kahit na ang galing ng coach,
Yeah.
wala. So,
Wala.
if you're asking me what is the starting formula, Sir Ernest, it is choosing the right dedicated coach. Example, rugby football was the most, well, I mean, not the most, it was unknown. One of the starting point of rugby football was in Cebu. Try to find, well, it's part of your scoop. Coach Madel and, Coach Madel and Maggie, I met them. They went to the office. Sir, we're we're from rugby football and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Sabi ko, my first, just like Don Sombrio and Gary of weightlifting, I look for the heart first. No? Tinitingnan ko, are these coaches dedicated? Can I entrust a program to them? And I saw their heart. Up to now, I wanted even to give them allowance. Would you believe? They said, no need, sir. Unahin mo lang yung iba. Kawawa ng iba. And I know this Maggie and Madel doesn't have the funds to but they're so dedicated. Grabe. Just like Gary and Don. So said, okay, let's do a program for your rugby football. So what we did, the strategy, interesting ito, Sir Ernest. Nobody wanted to go rugby football. So what we did is basketball and volleyball was our summer program is volleyball and basketball is 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then we require the basketball and volleyball, walang libre na training kung hindi kayo mag-cross training, ha? So, kailangan kayo mag-cross training sa rugby football, sa weightlifting, saka et cetera. Those sports na unpopular, we feed. So, syempre, marami yung volleyball saka basketball. We use them as a, how do you call it? Feed. We feed we feed them in. And true enough, the strategy worked. Let's say in one gymnasium, we have, let's say, 500 kids who like to learn basketball and volleyball, 500. So we require them all. Okay, doon ka sa et cetera, et cetera. Then you ask Maggie and Madel. That's how we popularize an unpopular sports. So now I think rugby football tunog na yata sa Philippines. So that's a strategy we employ.
Sige, sir. Ito naman, no, syempre, I'm picking your mind as an entrepreneur din, no. Syempre, when you sat down at your position, syempre, I'm sure titingnan yung budget. Di ba? Yung budget, what is my work around on this budget and everything. Kasi all I've been hearing sa mga sa PSC and everything are the spending, no? Is there a way for us to multiply the budget so we can spend more or invest more? What is your mindset on that, sir? Ano yung mga nakita niyong pwedeng gawin, no? That maybe we could multiply the budget even more.
Sir Ernest, I'm so impressed with your question. Talagang malalim. And I'm so happy you asked those questions because those are the questions that will often be asked. Okay. When we launch the again, kawawa naman yung mga coaches at talagang hinahanapan ko ng paraan makaka-income, kawawa naman sila. Pero I don't understand how they can thrive with so little allowance.
Yeah, totoo yun, sir.
Actually,
And before you continue, sir, dun nga nag-uugat yung corruption kapag kulang yung budget, 'di ba? Parang they try to find ways even na medyo illegal to increase that budget. Kaya yun yung sana maiwasan natin na alam mo yun, yung makagawa ng masama yung mga tao pag medyo kulang yung budget, no, sir? Yun yung ano ba yung ano yung
Bro,
continue, sir. Oo.
Sir Ernest, you'd be surprised. The dedicated coaches that we have recruited into the grassroots program, I'm so surprised. They are not, ano, they're not money oriented. They're not taximeters. That's why, like example, Madel and Maggie, Gary, sabi ko, can you live with 10,000 a month? Ako pang naghanap ng racket para sa kanila kasi their love is just to see the grassroots program. So these people are social crusaders.
Yeah.
And going back to your question, that's why ang starting point ng programa natin sa Cebu is volunteerism. You volunteer. Masaya ka kung masaya na tayo kung hamburger lang tsaka soft drink ang ang kapalit. And masaya rin sila. So nagtataka ako where can I find people? But hindi sila marami. Konti lang sila. So over the 25 years of grassroots program, 12 years with all the other sports, 25 years with dance sport, well, I found uh, quite quite a number naman. I would say mga 60 dedicated coaches. And these dedicated coaches are the ones that we will tap to be the grassroots organizers nationwide. Kasi time tested. And they will identify sino ang mga dedicated coaches in different regions of the Philippines. It's just like a political campaign. You're campaigning for a senator and you develop the grassroots program for them. It's quite similar. This one is we're campaigning for a sports program. That's our product is not a senator. Our product is the sports program. We have to sell it to the right people so that the right people will communicate and sell it to the grassroots. So that's So going back to your question po, budget. Actually, not much. I have an opening line during the strategic planning. Sikreto ha? How can this be secret? Nasa public tayo. We can operate 99% of the budget may go to the elite athletes. And 1% of the budget will be enough for the grassroots. Inversely, the grassroots are the 99% of the athletes in the Philippines. That's inverse. 99% of the budget goes to the elite, 1% goes to the grassroots. But the grassroots athletes are the 99% of the athletes in the Philippines. But we can operate it that way. We can have enough funds to replicate the program. Why? We're tapping. Ironically, we're tapping the private schools. Ito, I think I should share it to you na kasi I want also to share this to your viewers. We will be tapping PRISA. PRISA is the Private Schools Athletic Association. I've talked to Father Vic. I've talked to Father Jess, the president. Father Vic is the chair. I brought them already to Chairman Richard. We already have an understanding. The reason why we went to Zamboanga is to meet with all the regional presidents of PRISA. That's why we were in Zamboanga. And organizing this was really took a lot of time, and I'll share this to you. So we were able to meet. I brought them here, the officers, and brought the commissioners to Zamboanga to meet all the regional presidents in the 9 regions. And guess how many PRISA schools are there in the Philippines? 400 from from Apari down to Holo. There are 400 private schools. In the words of the president, Father Jess, Ed, we should start operationalizing the grassroots program. I said, "Wow, Father, what a beautiful word. I'll use that, operationalize." Why? Right now, Hedelin, Ando, Aaron went through that career path. What's the career path? Public school, entrams, public school, adopted by private school, umakyat sa elite, become a national team. That's a career path. That's a career path. Just like being an executive. You know, many executives in the Philippines, you'd be surprised, started as a clerk, accounting clerk. One I know became president of a bank, started as a janitor. But they followed a career path. So what we're replicating here is the career path that has been proven but not institutionalized. If we institutionalize and operationalize that career path, well, I wouldn't be surprised if we, instead of one Hedelin Diaz, we'll probably have 50 or 100 Hedelin Diaz, not just in weightlifting, but in all the other sports. So again, the key word is institutionalize and operationalize the career path of what Hedelin Diaz went through. She was a public school, adopted by University of Zamboanga, PRISA member. University of Zamboanga is a PRISA member. Then reached reached the elite and nurtured by Monica Fuentebella. So that's a career path that we want to replicate nationwide.
Okay, sir, I'm fascinated dun sa your emphasis sa coaches, no? And syempre if you galing din kasi ako sa a teacher party list, so yung tanong ko diyan, when you actually develop more coaches, you have a very good chance of developing more athletes. I'm sure that is your mindset as well. Ano ba yung mga do we have something in mind for coaches development na gusto nyong i-implement during your term here sa PSC?
Now, I just finished talking with Abby from the Philippine Sports Institute. There's a difference between elite coaches and grassroots coaches, and we understood it very well. The grassroots coaches doesn't have to be super competent, but they just need to have the right basics to be able to organize a grassroots program effectively in the depth ed level and entrance level. Abby of PSI, Philippines Sports Institute, will be collaborating with us closely para we will grow the level of coaching competence upwards. I'll share with you. I hope this will be embraced by. I'm sharing with you more than I'm supposed to share. Kayo talaga, kayo Sabi ko kay Gabs, saan pa si Gabs? Sabi ko kay Gabs.
So, ano pa, hindi pa nga nagtatanong si Gab sa lagay na to, sir eh.
Sabi ko kay Gabs, pwede ba i-postpone natin ito? Kasi I'm not yet, I'm not supposed to share this. Kaya talaga. I told Gab, pwede ba next week na lang? Oh, no, week after next. Pero, jahe rin ako rin kay Gabs.
Ako sir, may proposal kami ni Sir Ed pag regarding that.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
what my proposal is, nako, I'm sharing this. I know it's gonna be difficult. I know it's gonna be challenging. Is to decentralize and regionalize the training of national athletes. I know it's gonna be challenging. I know there's gonna be a lot of resistance, but I'm gonna I'm gonna throw it anyway to the table. I'm gonna put it on the table and let a healthy discussion, not an argument, a healthy discussion with the during the planning, strategic planning. Why? Why? Why decentralize when we have to centralize the ano?
yeah.
But I'll tell you why. I- Toyota, again, it's a business concept. Will Toyota be one of the top car will be the one of the top car manufacturers in the world if they remain manufacturing Toyota cars in Japan? No. They put up one of the biggest car manufacturing plants in the US, in Europe.
In Michigan yun, tama, no? In
Yeah,
Michigan.
grabe. So, why centralize it in Manila? It doesn't make sense. Okay, three best examples why we should be regionalizing our national athletes training. Not just training, regionalizing our national athletes training. Baguio is one example. Cebu is one example. Zamboanga is one example. Why is Baguio always number one in Batang Pinoy? Why is not Cebu always number two in Batang Pinoy? Why? Because the regional training centers are in those two places. There is always a dispersal, a cascade of knowledge whenever you regionalize an operation or a center or a manufacturing. Okay, iPhone sent their manufacturing to China. What happened? China knows how to make cell phone, di ba? They sent their chips making into to China. Eh sino naman ngayon ang magaling maggawa ng chips? I don't think it's Silicon Valley before, but now probably China. So same.
Yung,
That's a business concept.
actually, Taiwan na, sir, di ba? Kaya nga nagkakagulo.
You're correct. Taiwan.
Kaya
Taiwan.
pinagkakirahan ng US at saka ng China ng Taiwan. Eh.
Tama. You're correct
Microchips.
there. Taiwan.
Oo.
So we have to paradigm shift what we believe in. In the words of Mark Zuckerberg, you watch his speech, the Harvard speech. He said entrepreneurship is not about just business alone. It's it's social entrepreneur. It's
Yeah.
not about business. It's about creating change. That's entrepreneur. So every change, as Mark Zuckerberg said, will have a lot of resistance, and that's part of it. But I will need your help. Please help me convince people, people who you'll be talking to, that regionalizing grassroots will make our quality of athletes go up, because that's a proven business concept. Just please help me. Just please help me, share this and make other people believe in this program.
Okay, sir, I have no, I have two more questions. No, one is a little bit selfish, no. Yung as of course, syempre as yung mga entrepreneur mindset, marketing is very important, no. Marketing is a big part for entrepreneurship, and syempre part of marketing is media, no? So kami mga media. So and with the rise of social media as well, ano yung nakikita nyo na magiging role na yun yan dumadami na mga content creator ng sports ngayon, dumadami and media as kumbaga dati we have our hands full, ngayon meron na mga content creators na sumasali. How do you envision media and PSC working hand in hand moving forward in this new type of media as well? Now, how do you envision that, and how do you welcome it? Mm-mm.
Media plays a very, very, very critical role. Your role is to make people, to help, your expertise. All of us have our expertise. We are one, we are one pie. I'm just part of the pie. We complete the pie. We complete the package. I'm just a part. The coaches are just a part. PSC becomes a part. The staff in PSC part. And the media forms a big role to communicate the program. That's your expertise, and that's one of your most challenging and biggest role. Because example, you can emphasize elite. Oh, we have to win the medals, we have to win the Olympics, and disregard, because I'll be candid with you. Who wants to listen to a grassroots program? It's not exciting. If I wanted to be popular in Cebu, I wouldn't focus on grassroots. I would be focusing on medals para sisikat ako. But it, it doesn't have that purpose. It's not an ikigai for me. Ikigai is a Japanese word for meaningful purpose in life. Kahit gaano hindi ko I cannot swallow that So all these 25 years I was selling the program through the media, and I'm so touched that Cebu media has been so very supportive, even if it was not a popular, it wasn't a popular, how do you call it, scoop. It's not a popular news, di ba? Hindi na maganda. Oh, sino nanalo, maganda yun eh. So yun, that is the challenge. How and to communicate that, because I was talking to Abby kanina. It takes 21 tries. You're experts in communication. You know this principle, 21. What's 21? People have to see it 21 times, hear it 21 times to believe in something. So if someone is selling shampoo, that brand has to be seen by the market 21 times before they will say, oh, gusto ko nga i-try itong shampoo. Di ba? So we have to sell that idea to the media. I mean, the media have to sell and communicate that idea, that concept, that program to your listeners, because it will cascade down to the LGU, to the NSA, to the DepEd people, to the to the PRISA, to the LGU, what the program is all about. That's a challenge of media as as part of the complete pie. You complete the pie.
Okay. And lastly, sir, ito na yung yung question ko bago ko kay Gab, no? Napahirapan ko ba kayo?
Actually, I get excited with questions like what you throw because they're meaningful to me and it's an opportunity for me to share the depth of the program. It's questions like that, incisive questions like that, that will open up what the program is all about.
Okay, ito naman, sir, no? You have like more than 5 years in your position right now. At the end of the term, what is your vision of what is your going to be the impact that you're aiming after the 6 years of your term in PSC?
Again, this is a business concept. You, when you advertise, you don't get 100 hits. Like example, if your market is 100,000, no, you don't hope to sell your product to 100,000 people when you advertise. You hope you'll get 3-5% of the market.
Target
And
market?
yeah, your target market is 100,000. But if you get 5%, 10%, happy ka na.
Yeah.
Like Toyota, they're not getting the majority of the market. Nandyan naman yung Ford, nandyan naman yung Nissan, nandyan yung Hyundai, nandyan yung a lot of competitors, di ba? So, in the same way, this is reality, ha? I mean, let's say, the 20 regions nationwide, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, I don't expect, well, if you're with your help, probably will expect higher, but I wouldn't expect all to 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 embrace and believe in the grassroots program. If all of them do, that's great. That's wonderful. But if we get even just 5 to 10% support, believing and embracing in our grassroots program, it's transformational. I'll tell you, it will change the landscape of sports. It will change. Even just 5%, or even just 5% can move this sports program forward into another level. Believe you me, it can. It can. Just 5-10%. What's 5-10%? Okay, let's say 400 PRISA schools, 100 LGUs, 1,000 public schools involved. 5% of that, that's probably 100 Hedelin Diaz instead of one. Example, we focused on, not really focused, we did about 22 sports in Cebu. Look what happened with archery. Look what happened with weightlifting. And so other sports. I just didn't track what we achieved or accomplished. But now that I'm in PSC, I'm now realizing, ang dami palang nakaabot ng SEA Games, Asian Games, World Championships. Ang dami pala yung galing sa grassroots program ng Cebu. Mind you, in fairness, PSC was always with us since 2005, observing and supporting the grassroots program since 2005. I'll reveal that to you. Since 2005. Boots Ramirez was always supportive. In 2010, Richie Garcia was very supportive. He even asked me in 2012, 2012 or 2013, 2012 to present the Grassroots Program in the Philippine Sports Summit in, I think, Rizal Stadium. I was there presenting the Richie Garcia wanted in 2012 or 2013 to bring the Grassroots Program nationwide, to have it replicated. But probably it was medyo formative stage pa yun. So a few, and I did it only once, the Philippine Sports Summit. So a few, I think 5 or 6 LGUs picked it up. And again, in fairness, Richie was supportive all the way to the end of his term, and Coach Ramirez continued the program.
Okay, sir. So with that, okay, si Gab naman na magtatanong. May isa pang round pa, sir. So anyway, Gab, take it away. Ikaw naman ang magtanong.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you, Sir Ernest. Ernest, thank you, Sir Ernest.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Hey, Sir
Mayong
Gab.
Okay, mayong buntag Hayco. First of all, thank you so much for accepting the invite to be with us. Alam ko, busy kayo ngayon. Ngayon, nagpaplano po kayo for the upcoming planning session next week para at least ma-plansya ninyo yung mga policies at programs na i-implement ninyo on the 6-year, almost 6-year term ninyo bilang komisyon ng PSC. And during the PSA forum last Tuesday na pinuntahan ko, Chairman Bachman said na plano nila na pabuklurin yung lahat ng mga grassroots programs. Pero ang ahawak mismo, hindi dapat pwedeng i-rely muna sa mga LGUs, kundi yung mga NSAs mismo. Can we react on this, Hayco?
Again, sa NSA ang handle.
Opo.
Actually, we work closely with the NSA. Like example, yung in 2012, we worked with the NSA with Don Sombrio, and I was working closely with the chairman of the weightlifting with regards to the grassroots program, Mark Alinio, chairman of the NSA, and so on and so forth. We were working with if not directly, we were working indirectly through their coaches, through the coaches of the NSA. So we have always been working with the NSAs.
Okay. So, what was your feeling na dati ang focus ninyo, Hayco, ay sa city level? Kaya nga umaangat ng gusto yung mga Cebuano athletes like sina Elvin Ando, Marjeline Didal ng skateboarding and nanalo ng gold sa Asian Games. And of course, yung kilala nating dance sport couple. Kaya nga tinatawag natin na father of Cebuano dance sport si Commissioner Hayco dahil isa sa mga produkto ng inyong programa sa dance sports ay yung nag-gold sa SEA Games last 2019 dito sa Manila, sina Wilbert Aunso at si Pearl Cañeda na alam natin kilala ngayon sa pagsasayaw ng mga Latin styles ng play. What can you say? Ano yung feeling nyo na of course umangat pa ng gusto yung ating mga Cebuano national athletes sa international level until now?
Thank you, Sir Gab, for asking that question. It's just to reiterate, our grassroots program is value laden. Value laden mean to say, bahala na yung medalya. Pag wala kang disiplina, hindi ka you are not helping or you're not volunteering your time to teach the others. Ganito yung style natin sa Cebu. If we teach you 6 months, dapat you should teach back what you learned to the others. That's volunteer program natin. Why? We want them to form at an early stage what helping other means. It's not I. It's us, helping others. That's the essence of the dance sport grassroots program in Cebu. Even if Wilbert has been a triple gold medalist in the SEA Games, we still require him to teach 1 hour a day required. Kasi kung hindi, yung medalya niya pupunta sa ulo, lalaki yung ulo instead of lalaki yung puso. So most sad to say, we need to have a value-laden grassroots program. Wilbert, if you see most of the athletes nag-iba. Ang tawag diyan yung langaw nakapatong sa kalabaw effect. Sayang lang, dapat they should be taught to continue to be humble with a value-laden sports program. Kasi nag-iba sila, kala na, that I think you understand what I mean. Dapat value-laden yung sports program natin. Kaya I'm proposing a mantra, a theme for the grassroots program. It is a value-laden program utilizing sports, value-laden program utilizing sports as an educational tool to provide a transformational experience to the least privileged athletes. 99% of our kids in Cebu, both dance sport and all the 22 other sports, are from the slum area. 99%. And we're providing them an opportunity of a lifetime. So, yun. Mind you, Wilbert nagpupulot yan ng basura, ha? He is a scavenger. He picks up empty bottles in a creek in Tejero. He sells those empty bottles to a junk shop and he gets 5 pesos. So, he only eats once a day kasi he cannot afford it. So, yun. Yun ang profile ng mga bata natin. Ang ulam niya is asin. Kung swerte siya, makabili siya ng toyo. So, once a day lang ang kain niya. Yung kapatid niya nasa preso because of drug. Because his barangay is, maraming drugs. So, sabi ni Wilbert sa akin, kung hindi lang dahil sa sports, sa dance sports, baka daw nasa kulungan rin siya. So, yun ang essence ng program natin. It's to provide kids a more positive activity than gadgets.
Just to add nga pala kanina doon sa sinabi niyo na may post kayo na decentralized itong training at gawing regional-wide. Regional na yung training ng ating mga national athletes. Kasi karamihan kasi sa ating mga national teams ay dito sa Manila nagte-training. Pero ang mga primary examples nga pala na mga national teams na nagte-training ay karamihan doon sa Teachers Camp sa Baguio. Of course, yung boxing team, by the way, like to condole nga pala to the family of Sir Ed Picson ng ABAP na sumakabilang buhay yesterday dahil sa liver cancer. One of the best sportsmen we ever had. May rest in peace. And Baguio, merong boxing, Muay Thai nandun, some athletics guys were there. Yung Ormoc din, through Congressman Richard Gomez, doon nagte-training yung modern pentathlon din sa Ormoc. Kaya baka it's a great choice na magkaroon tayo ng regional na training ito mga national athletes. At of course para maiwasan na rin yung siksikan at gulo doon sa Manila, doon na lang sila magpo-focus na sa regional, pero with the cooperation of MSA, during your term matupad na ito. Kaso nga lang medyo mahirap kasi karamihan kasi sa mga NSA sa ngayon nagte-training yung national teams sa Manila mismo. Kung Edward, may mga inputs ba kayo?
Yeah, ang input ko, sana matulungan niyo ako. Kasi I cannot do this alone. Communicating this concept, I cannot do it alone. I really need your help. the help of media, the help of people who believes in this concept. Kasi magpo-flourish eh. Example. Let's say SM. If SM stays in Manila, no? Okay, Manila will grow. But look, when SM goes to a far-flung place, a far-flung province, I think SM now has 50, if I'm not mistaken, 50 malls in the Philippines. Observe, whenever they put up a mall in an area, what happens? That place, it primes up the place and gravitates that region and props up. Try to observe. Example, a sleepy town in Cebu called Consolacion. Before SM was up, it was like a sleepy town, Consolacion. But when SM put up, wow, boom. No, so it became a magnet of activity. Regionalizing, actually, sports can be can can be utilized as a to prime up the economy, not just athleticism competence, but the economy of that certain district, that certain region. Nagpa-prime up yan. It's a no. That's again a business concept. So let's hope we can we can operationalize and institutionalize the regionalizing of Sir Gabs.
Since you are now the PSC commissioner, dati kang chairman ng Cebu City Sports Commission, and one of those who have been cooperating with you, si former Commissioner Mon Fernandez ng PSC, one of the commissioners during the time of Chairman Ramirez. Meron ba kayong ibinahagi ng mga advices from Commissioner Fernandez na ginamit nyo on your term?
I will always consult him because he has the experience, of course, and the wisdom. Siyempre, iba naman si Commissioner Mon Fernandez, no? He may malaki namang contribution niya to during his 6-year term. So I will always consult him for advices. And I'm very thankful he has plans, like he wants to put a skit shooting in Cebu. We will be very supportive on that. And he has a lot of that. Again, Commissioner Mon is an entrepreneur. You have to remember that he's an entrepreneur and a businessman. So he also has that mindset of tapping or applying business concept into sports.
Okay, so you were also visited some cities the past days para malaman natin yung status ng kanilang mga grassroots programs. Like kasama nyo pa sina Chairman Bachman and the two other commissioners sa Cebu, and then sa Zamboanga where you visited the gym na ipinangalan kay Aiden Diaz, kung saan ang daming mga Zamboangueño weightlifters are looking to succeed in the near future. And of course, si Chairman Bachman, there's also talks with the mayor of Lawag, which happens to be the former project director of Gintong Alay, si Mayor Michael Keon, regarding naman sa grassroots program. So, I think, pagdating nga dito sa terminal natin, I'm sure yung mga grassroots programs ng PSC ay fully implemented sa lahat ng sulok na ating bansa kung meron.
Yeah. Again, grassroots program is a spectrum, is a level. I admire very much Michael Keon. He's, in fact, kung pwede lang, I'll borrow his Gintong Alay catchphrase. I'm thinking of even. I don't know if he'll give permission. I'll say, Gintong Alay reboot or Gintong Alay version 2. So, but ano pa, whatever it is, um, it's still up in the air. But I'm sharing with you all of this, no? So, again, grassroots is a spectrum. What's a spectrum? Michael Kiel said facility, 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 facility. I agree, totally agree. But facility is also a spectrum. What do I mean by spectrum? You can have a track oval, that's a facility. But you can have also a track oval made of sand. Why? Grassroots, when you go down to the entrance level, you cannot afford to have a track oval in all the thousands of public school. Diba? So, let's call it ground zero, is entrams. How can you afford to have oval? So, ang Cebu, our track oval is just a piece of, yung thread. It just outlines an oval. Yung hurdle, you'll see some hurdles, sako, may karton sa loob. Basta ang hurdle, sako ng bigas, in a hurdle yan. That's grassroots. That's ground zero of grassroots. So, yung spectrum natin has to be also realistic where the level is. If we're talking of entrams, that's a facility. So, that's in answer. I hope I answered your question, Sir Gab.
Lastly, kasi mag-lunch na po tayo.
Oh,
Siyempre, alam natin, kailangan natin na kumain mamaya pagkatapos nito. Nakadepende po yung lahat ng mga gagawin nyo sa grassroots program within the next 6 years until 2028 sa planning section next week. And we could expect na although bumalik na yung Batang Pinoy at nagkaroon tayo ng national finals last year na ginanap sa Ilocos Sur, ay magtutuloy-tuloy ito. And of course, bukod pa rito, meron pa tayong Philippine National Games na para magsisilbing talent identification program ng PSC para ma-scout natin yung mga potential na national team talents.
Yeah. Your question is?
So nakadepende ito yung mga gagawin ninyo sa planning session with regards niya sa grassroots, no?
Yes, of course. Si Chair Richard wants a which is really very tama naman, a unified calendar of sports program. So, ma-input na yung grassroots program natin, yung Philippine Sports Institute, training of coaches, accreditation, and all the elite program will be all in one calendar, including the Philippine National Games and also the Batang Pinoy. So, everything will be formulated into a one national program so that everything will be properly coordinated po.
Lastly, last na talaga, your wife is also active pa rin sa dance sport kaya sumasali pa rin dun sa mga national dance sports competition, si Ma'am Eleanor Hayco.
Thank you. Yeah. She still competes and that's her passion. Just a little bit of history. It was our hobby. It was our we started as social dancers. Then we shifted in 1996 into competitive dancing. When we were competing, can you imagine spending $200 for 45 minutes? That was how the outreach program was born, Sir Ed. We felt na-konsensya na kami eh. Sus, ang gastos, no? Sayang naman ng pera. $200 per 45 minutes. We were going to Las Vegas, Europe, Blackpool for training. So, we formulated para hindi makonsensya, sabi ko, yung ng coach namin, si Loloy Rendon, Coach, can we make this into a program para hindi naman sayang yung pera natin? Ano yun? $200, if we teach 200 kids, maging $1 per kid. Yung costume ng wife ko, 50,000, not actually 50,000, 100,000. Pahiramin natin sa 10, actually, pwede nang 100 kids nakahiram ng costume. So, maging 1,000 per dress. So, that was the concept of our program. I-share natin yung ginastos natin sa mga mahihirap. That's why it's always just for sa mga mahirap, because we felt when you see a kid, we start madumi, walang tsinelas, madumi. Tapos yung siya, ganyan lang, mahihain. But after teaching them dance sport for 3-4 months, iba na yung nila. They develop self-esteem, self-respect, and self-confidence. So we saw that transformation. That's why it became an outreach program and advocacy. That's how it all started. That's how the program started, by accident. So, yun. And we replicated it in 22 other sports in Cebu. That concept of sharing, actually the base there is volunteerism.
Kudos sa Hayco, and we look forward na mas lalong payabungin ang mga grassroots programs na i-implement sa PSC, and hope to visit you soon sa opisina ng PSC every Tuesday. Magdumaan ako sa PSA forum. And we would like to invite also the 2 other commissioners, si Commissioner Walter Torres and Commissioner Pitts Gaston, to join us. Kasi natapos na yung kay Commissioner Bongko at ikaw, para naman i-share naman yung mga magiging plans and projects na under their term. Hayco, maraming salamat and all the best to you.
Thank you po. Thank you, Tokayo Ed. Thank you po, Sir Ernest. Thank you very much for the support.
Okay. Ernest, siguro bago natin hingan ng closing remarks si Commissioner, we can have our group photo first, then yung closing remarks ni Commissioner bago tayo paalam.
Bago mag-closing remarks, sir,
Okay.
litrato muna yung pinakamagandang ngiti natin. So, in 1, 2, 3, smile po tayo. Alright, thank you very much. Sir Ed, balik sa inyo.
Okay, again, thank you very much, Commissioner, for joining us dito sa Sports on Air, and we hope we can invite you again in the future para sa mga programa pa na isusulong mo, no? Commissioner, your closing remarks please, para may mga gusto pa kayong sabihin sa mga tagapanood natin ngayong umaga.
Two mantras, how do you call it? Sayings that I want to share, just 2 as a parting message to your listeners. God gave us the gift of talent and treasure. What we do with this talent and treasure is our gift back to God. That's number 1. And number 2 is planting the seed, knowing we will never get the shade. My mother, in short, in a closing message, she was an environmentalist. My mother, Martina Go, she planted millions of trees starting at the age of 70 until she passed away at 90. I think maybe 65 or something. When we were young, she was always collecting seeds, putting it anywhere in the house. Seeds. So the house was full of seeds. When she reached 65, 70, she started planting the seeds. Millions. And the most touching thing there, she never get the shade. So during her death, her eulogy, I said, most of you may have stood under a tree and took the shade on a hot, sunny day. Most probably my mother planted that for you. Yeah. And hope that our grassroots program will also put a shade on a lot of kids in the public school. Thank you.
Commissioner, we need another episode dyan sa dalawang mantra na sinabi mo para mas marami pang ma-inspire na mga tao dito sa mga tinuran mo ngayon. So we will definitely invite you again para mas marami pa tayong mga inspiring messages na marinig mula sa iyo at sa iba pang mga commissioners natin ng PSC. Ernest?
Thank you.
And with that, thank you very much, sir. Again, we will visit you sometime next week, no? And then with that, dyan po nagtatapos ang ating programa dito sa Sports on Air Weekly. Para sa mga nasa Facebook po na nanonood at di pa kayo nagla-like sa page namin, i-like po natin para malaman natin kung sino po yung mga susunod na panauhin dito sa Sports on Air Weekly. And yes, we will have an official announcement kung ano po yung niluluto namin ni Sir Ed in a few days. And sa mga nanonood naman sa YouTube, 87,500 plus na po tayo. So sana this year mapuntahan na po natin ang 100,000 subscribers. At please do subscribe kung nandiyan po kayo nanonood sa YouTube. At ako po si Ernest Hernandez, ang naging host and moderator. And nagtanong din ng mga magagandang tanong kay Bossing. No? At na nagpapaalam po ng panandalian, ang simpleng mensahe naman namin para sa inyo is to stay safe and God bless.
Thank you, Commissioner.